Good morning. It's fabulous to have your company this Wednesday, the 14th of April. I'm Jessica Amir, a market analyst here with Bell Direct. Well, we saw US stocks close mostly higher this morning because bond yields fell, which is supportive of equities. Now, the Nasdaq was up the most out of the three major indices. The Nasdaq up 1.1%, the broader S&P 500 up 0.3%, locking in another record high of 4,141 points. The biggest riser was Tesla, up 8.6% on news that 1 in 3 EVs bought in China are made by Tesla, with Tesla selling 70,000 electric vehicles in China last quarter. In other news, Moderna shares saw a lot of charge, up 7%, doing well for two reasons. The rival vaccine from Johnson & Johnson was paused on being rolled out in the US because 6 cases were reported of severe blood clots affiliated with J&J's vaccine. Now, separately, new data showed that Moderna's vaccine is over 90% effective in protecting against COVID-19 for 6 months after the second dose. Now, all this supported the Moderna's shares moving higher. Now, in other vaccine news, Pfizer shares didn't really move much, but they did come out pledging to deliver 10% more vaccine doses by the end of May. Now, stepping back more broadly, what did we see? Well, CPI, Consumer Price Index, which measures consumer prices, rose 0.6% in March in the US, 2.6% over the year. Now, interestingly, that's the biggest jump in consumer prices since 2018. But petrol prices made up half of the overall increase. Petrol prices lifted 23% year on year, up 9% in March alone. Now, what to watch today for us? Well, the Aussie share market is expected to lift 0.3% or 19 points. Tech stocks expected to shine because bond yields in Australia have fallen from their 12-month high and are now 1.71%. Of course, this makes tech stocks look far more appealing. Now, all this comes at a time when the Aussie tech sector has bolted out of its 1-month bear market, fueled by a couple of things: earnings growth, broker upgrades, and of course the US population increasingly being vaccinated. So we can see the Aussie Tech Index bottomed and it's made a very sharp recovery. Now, Zip shares will be traded a lot today. Zip shares, Z1P, they jumped 17% yesterday, reporting another smashing quarter. Revenue, merchants, customers all rose 10 to 20%. Yesterday, Zip closed at $9.73, but Morgan's came out stamping the stock as a buy with a $10.92 target. Now, another tech stock to watch, the biggest of them all, Afterpay APT. Now, following that sizable jump in Zip and their better than expected news, particularly in the US, Afterpay shares also made a decent jump, rising about 3% yesterday, and they're suggested to move further north in the short term. Also, the technicals are supporting them moving higher. Don't forget that Afterpay is set to launch in Asia for the first time in September this year. And Sezzle, the smaller underdog, I guess you could say, SZL, is another tech stock to watch today. So yesterday they rose 8% following Zip and APT higher. But more broadly, what can we look out for today in terms of what's likely to move the needle for the ASX 200? Well, on the radar is consumer confidence data set to be released for April, expected to be positive for the month because employment is at pre-pandemic levels. We also know yesterday that business conditions rose to a brand new record high, with business profits at a high and all industries reporting higher than expected conditions. Also, keep an eye on some of those most traded stocks from yesterday, guys and girls. For our active trader desk, Bell Direct Advantage, we saw a lot of trades in Magnetite Mines, MGT. Now, they were the most traded and their shares lifted 28%. Secondly, Delorean, DEL, their shares saw a lot of trades, but they fell 20% just a day after the renewable energy company DEL listed on the ASX. And the third most traded stock yesterday to watch today, 88 Energy, 88E is their ticker. They fell 10%. So keep an eye on that one. Now, trading ideas that could be worth a look. Well, the online luxury fashion website Satire, CTT is their ticker. They sell designer brands like Givenchy, Chanel, Valentino and the like. They were initiated as a Bell Potter buy, giving CTT a price target of $1.90. Now, yesterday, CTT closed at $1.61 and it's continued to hit all-time high after all-time high since it listed about 5 months ago in December. Now, for those that don't know, CTT, it looks like their business is quite scalable. They've got a drop and ship inventory model, which keeps their costs low. And although if you are like me, you might not necessarily be able to afford some of their big ticket items, especially they're on the higher side of town, those very large ticket items in excess of over $2,000. It's important to note that Satire offers buy now, pay later via Afterpay, which makes CTT's designer goods a bit more cost effective. So that's CTT, a Bell Potter buy. Secondly, the rival company to NBN, the only rival that's listed in Australia, Uniti Group, UWL, had their buy rating restamped by Bell Potter, a new $2.85 target for UWL. Now, why the upgrade? Well, its network revenue is likely to increase and UWL's price target was given a 14% jump. UWL is not only backed by Bell Potter, but it's also backed by Ord Minnett as a buy. Lastly, bullish charting signals have been identified in Unity Wireless, UWL, Sensen Networks, SNS, and PushPay Holdings, PPH, and that's according to Trading Central. So it's good to see when the technicals match the fundamentals. I'm Jessica Amir with Build Rex. Stay safe, happy trading. Have a great day.